Hello, ESI 325 Ecology. My name is Marco Hatch. I'll be your faculty for this quarter. And I want to do a quick introduction video and go over what we'll be doing this quarter and the way the class is structured. This is a 3-credit asynchronous class, and so the intention is reading generally 1 to 2 chapters a week, watching the videos, completing any exercises I post, and then for assessment, it's really tied to 3 exams, 2 mid-quarter and 1 final. The mid-quarter exams are 100 points apiece. They're going to be short answer or multiple choice. The final will be 150 points. About 60 to 70% of that will be the material that we've covered since exam 2 through exam 3. About 30-40% will be material from the first 2 exams. For this class, I'm requiring this Ecology textbook, Ecology from 5th edition. In December, I posted a link and a coupon code to get the book. I try to avoid having students to buy a book, but for this class, this really is a good book. And Sally Hacker's a great marine ecologist, and so I like the way the book's laid out, and I like the way that they use examples throughout the chapters, and so we'll have to stick to this book. If you have a prior edition, I can't comment on how close it is to the new edition. I haven't seen the 4th edition or the 3rd edition, so I don't know if the chapters are in the same order or cover generally the same information. If I had access to those, I could give a better recommendation. But right now, this is what we're going to be using, and it's pretty much it is required. I don't know how you could complete the class without the book. They're available in the bookstore on Amazon, and then the link I posted was directly from the publisher, which is only good for the physical copies, not the e-copies. I think with discounts about $120, $130 or so. So it's, in the grand scheme of the cost of books, kind of normal. Again, I try my best to avoid having to require text, and this is, of all my classes, the only one that I really do. So if you don't have this, get it, because we're starting this week. This week's chapter 1, which is pretty straightforward, and then from here on out, we'll be doing 2 chapters a week through the end of the quarter. Chapters tend to be, chapter 1's like 24 pages, but they tend to be relatively short. Let's see what chapter 4 is here. 107 to 30, 40 pages. I mean, they're kind of like an hour maybe to read them in depth. So it's not too much for a 3-credit class. If you're spending 2 to 3 hours outside of class reading, that seems appropriate to me. So let's take a look at our Canvas site. The Canvas site is designed to be relatively clean. Each week is a separate module. At the top, it's the required reading. For week 1, it's chapter 3. Week 2, chapter 2 and 3. Going down more or less in order. Week 5 is our first quiz. This is not populated yet, but this will be worth 100 points. Now the quiz will be February 5th. It opens at midnight right now to 1 p.m. So the quizzes will only be open for a certain period of time. That's the only time you can take the quiz, and you have to take it during that time. So if you forget, then you get a 0. So my recommendation would be to look at the quizzes now. Take these dates, Feb 5, 26, and March 15, and put them in your calendar and set reminders. So the 2 mid-quarter quizzes, Feb 5 and Feb 26, will be open from midnight to 1 p.m. The final is during our regularly scheduled final time. So if this were a synchronous face-to-face class, our final would be Monday, March 15th, 10 a.m. till noon. So you have to take the quiz, or the final that time. Monday of finals week, 10 to noon. The other two quizzes, again, February 5th and February 26th, you have to complete them by 1 p.m. Those two quizzes are generally designed to be about an hour long, and so you'll have an hour time limit, but you have to complete them within that time, which means if you started at 12:30, the quiz will automatically close at 1 p.m. So you want to start it no later than noon on the two exam days, and the final, again, 10 to noon. Everything will be in modules, and you can see we kind of go through the chapters in order. We jump a few to get to 2021, and I'll be posting a number of videos. I haven't quite figured out what the breakdown is going to be, but probably 1 or 2 videos per chapter, and those will show up under the week 1, 2, etc. So this introductory video I'll post under week 1, and then the videos discussing the material from chapter 1 will also be posted under week 1. My goal is to get material up the week prior, but it might be the week of, as we're kind of going through getting a rhythm here. But particularly as we get closer to the exam, week 5, all this material will be up in advance. And so for the quiz 1 in week 5, it'll only cover chapter 8, not chapter 9. The same for quiz 2, it'll cover chapter 14, but not chapter 15. That's also broken down very nicely on the syllabus. So for this class, it's asynchronous. Material will be posted. I'm holding discussion periods / office hours Thursday 1 to 2. I'm trying to shift that from like a traditional office hours to more of a discussion. So it's not required, but if you have questions on the material or want to talk about ecology or anything else that's going on, and looking for other opportunities, things like that, that's the time to find me. So from Thursday from 1 to 2, I'll have my Zoom open. Feel free to join and have a discussion. Course objectives and prereqs are all pretty standard. Here's the grading breakdown. Again, quiz 1 and 2 are worth 100 points, and quiz 3 is worth 150. And here's where it breaks down. Quiz 1 will cover chapter 1 through 8. Quiz 2 will cover chapters 9 through 15. And then the final will be about 60, like I said, 60, 70%, the last 4 chapters, and then some review for the other portions. I'll try to keep it relatively straightforward. Videos, I'm going to try to post them on YouTube, which hopefully will be a little bit easier for a variety of devices. I know Screencast-O-Matic, which I've used in the past, with some of the updates, it gets a bit clunky. So we'll try using YouTube, and they have a pretty good closed captioning system. So hopefully that makes it a bit more accessible as well. If you have any questions, you can contact me through Canvas, or my preference is to use my email address, which is just hatchim5@wwu. There's a phone number there. I am obviously not in the office, so it's probably not the most useful. So email, and then really use those office hours, discussion hours, if you have questions during the class. So with that, I hope you are off to a new year, and hopefully this class is engaging and interesting. It's kind of the general gateway class to all the eSci classes, covering basics of ecology, things that we need to know as we move through our career. So again, thank you.